It's always a pleasure to spend time at the coast, especially when the conditions are like this, with the waves crashing over the rocks and moody, dramatic skies out to sea. Sea arches that almost look like crocodiles. But spending time with like-minded photographers, people who enjoy the same sort of photography that we do, has been amazing. It was great to spend the day with Don, enjoying the coast.
So welcome to this week's video. Today we're out with Don up at the cliffs at Longhaven. So Don got in touch with us, didn't you, after a video that we put out a few weeks ago and asked about meeting up. So today is the day, and it's World Photography Day as well, isn't it,
It is,
today?
yeah, absolutely. Yes, I forgot about that.
We are at an amazing location just now. The winds are horrific. So I'm hopeful that you can hear us, but Don has brought us to such a beautiful place. The waves are insane, and it's a pleasure, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, yeah.
We've just come down and sort of looked at these stacks, these little arches with the cliffs just out to sea, and the waves are just smashing in. And it's this type of photography that we absolutely love. And
yeah, we love it. And so these are the best. I've been here quite a few times, and these are the best conditions for the waves that I've seen. So we're quite lucky today.
very lucky indeed. So the plan, I think, is just to have a little bit of a bimble around the cliffs, see what we can get in these winds. It's going to be difficult, I think, to try and get some of the long exposures today, but we're going to try our best.
We will.
We're shooting sort of into the winds, so we're trying to get the tripods pretty low down so that it reduces some of that vibration in the tripods, but it's so much fun.
It is, it's good. It's good to be out.
It's definitely good to be out. The wind's just blowing in your face, really lots of fun. So yeah, we'll crack on, see what we can capture. The light's just dipping in and out a little bit as well, which is nice. As we were driving down actually as well, there was almost a little bit of haze out to sea, a little bit of fog.
It was quite miserly this morning, and that's sort of cleared up and turned out really nice conditions.
So hopefully we might get some nice atmospheric images. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. So it's a real battle against the winds today. We've just been trying to get a shot of this absolutely beautiful sea arch just on the edge of the cliffs here, with all of that spray just battering the base of it, and it's difficult. I think I've maybe got one shot that's sharp, because obviously putting the camera on the tripod and using the filters in the winds, using a long exposure, the wind's introducing shake to the tripod, as I said, and the ground is so soft underneath that I had one leg in the earth earlier on, which makes me a little bit nervous, especially near these cliffs. So I think what the plan's going to be is to put the long lens on and try and get some shots maybe of the waves crashing up and freezing that moment, instead of trying to do some long exposures. I've taken some of the cliffs, so on this side it's not as windy, or it's a bit more sheltered looking out this way, and because the sun's to my left, it's lighting up those cliffs. We're shooting this way, you're shooting into the shadows. So as much as I want to try and get an image across here, at the moment it's just proving that little bit difficult. So I think we probably just need to settle things as much as we can. Super excited with these conditions. These rough seas are just exactly the ideal conditions with the cliffs. So I think we're going to settle ourselves, maybe try and change the lens, get some long lens shots. Don's just sat himself down very close to the edge with his long lens just shooting across. So we'll see what we can get. I'll put some of the long exposures up for you, let you have a look, and we'll see what we can capture with a bit of a longer focal length.
So I started by taking some images of the cliffs, hoping to capture some beautiful textures in the water. It was proving incredibly difficult with the camera on the tripod, so I used the 100 to 400 with a faster shutter speed to try something a little different. The sea arch looked absolutely incredible, and although I do like this image, it probably isn't sharp enough, and I'd love to return to try again.
So we've just taken a walk all along the cliff tops here. Don's taking us to a little bay which is his favourite place to visit along these cliffs, and we're super excited to go and have a look. But we couldn't help but stop off at this little sea arch. As we came around the corner, it was like, oh wow, look at this, it's amazing. You've got this sea arch where the water's just pounding in and crashing around the base with that incredible view out to sea. The spray, the light, the atmosphere is just wonderful. We were just saying actually that if we had a pound for every time we'd said fantastic. It's just unreal. The birds flying out, the sound of those waves is just superb. We've been able to get actually a couple of shots here, so I've taken some wide tight in just to try and isolate this sea arch with those waves as they come in and out, and then a wider shot looking out to that incredible view. It's just amazing. So we're going to crack on, get round to this little bay that Don's going to show us, and we'll see what else we can find to photograph.
What an incredible sea arch. It reminds me of a crocodile just making its way into the sea. I experimented and took a variety of shots, trying to capture that beautiful textures in the water. The wider shots I like because we've got the heather and the grasses in the foreground, but I wasn't too keen on the blue sky. I love how on this image the waves hitting the crocodile's head almost look like teeth. What an incredible place.
So this is the little bay that we've arrived at, which is Don's favourite place, and I can see why. We've got two cliff edges that just come down into this little bay with this fantastic structure just in the middle here with rocks in the foreground. The water is looking quite green, and again because we've got those waves coming in and sort of swirling around the base of the rocks, it's creating that fantastic texture in the water that we absolutely love. So what are we doing? I've got a 6-stop ND filter in that actually I had a little bit of an issue with just recently with the gasket on the back. So the foam gasket on the back that stops the light leaking into the camera whilst you're doing a long exposure had peeled away from the glass. Now the filters are superb. I've had these filters now for probably 5 or 6 years and never had any issue with them. It's probably just overuse over time. The gasket just wore away, and I was thrilled to find out that for £2.50 from the Nissi website that you can get a replacement gasket, and it was easy to just peel it off, give it a clean down and put a new one on. So the filter feels brand new and it's gone in the holder wonderfully, so really pleased with that. We're using a 6-stop filter. I focused on the stack, the rock out there. I've just got the embankments of those two rocks coming down. Tried to pick up some of this foreground with the rocks and the waves just beautifully cascading over. Little polarizer just to take a bit of glare off, and it's simple. The only thing I need to watch is just on the edge here we've got some grasses that are just creeping into the frame, so unless I go any closer or zoom in any tighter I'm going to have those in, so I might need to just clone those out. What I have done is experimented with the shutter speed, so I've taken some at 5 seconds, but I've also got some at around 10 seconds and 20 seconds just to pick out which I like the most. To be fair, I think the shorter exposures will probably have a bit more texture in them, but wow, I can see why this is Don's favourite place. He's such a lovely guy. Like I say, he got in touch and sort of asked about meeting up. So we've come out today, World Photography Day, with superb conditions, and it's just been a joy to chat to him. And that's what is amazing about photography, that it brings people together that you wouldn't never have met. and the power of photography, the power as well of social media, because obviously Don has been watching our videos and has been sort of following the channel, and it's lovely to spend a bit of time with him. So thanks very much, Don, for bringing us to such an amazing place.
It really was great to spend the day with Don at such an amazing location, despite the winds battering us. The sun came out and created some harsh shadows, which I didn't really like in the image, but by moving to the right, I was able to minimise the shadows and try a different composition. It was fantastic to learn about Don's journey with photography and how photography has helped him recently. It's been great to share that connection, and thanks again, Don, for bringing us to an amazing location. Here's some behind the scenes shots that Don took, which is a lasting memory of our day.
Well, what an enjoyable time that's been. Thanks so much, Don, for bringing us to an amazing location. There's so many opportunities, probably 3 little spots that are just incredible for seascape photography. The cliffs, the waves, the light, the atmosphere. It's been amazing, Don. Thank you so much.
We've been really lucky today. The conditions have been ideal, apart from the wind being a bit too strong at times, but blowing our wigs off. But yeah, it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it as well. It's been great to meet you two at last.
Yeah, great.
Great fun.
It's been lovely. Thanks so much for getting in touch. It's, as Don said, it's been a little bit difficult with exposures and trying to battle against the wind, but hopefully we've got some images to share with you there. But what we'll do, we'll put a little link in the description down to Don's Facebook page. Go and have a look at his work. Absolutely fantastic images, beautiful photographs from the east coast of Scotland. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. We'll see you next week. Adios.